Maybe I won't schedule it next time. It says preview. What if I push this? What is... Was it not live that whole time? Oh my God. It wasn't live that entire time. I literally have been talking for the last 38 minutes. You guys. Oh my God. What did I film? On my end, it says, oh my God. I have been talking to you guys. I have been wondering how come no one is in here talking to me. I'm like, why are there only 18 people in this room? What did I just film? What did I just film? I can't even. I cannot. I was like, oh my God, everyone's watching the inauguration. Nobody wants to watch me. You guys, I literally have been talking for 30 fucking minutes. No joke. No joke. It on my... Oh my God. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That is bananas. Hey guys, it's Wahima. But just call me Wah. Melanated! I guess I'll do this shit over again. I have been talking for fucking 30 minutes. This is bananas. This is absolutely bananas. Okay, so here's what it is. So I am now doing this, like trying to be professional about going live. So I use a streaming service to help me do that. And so on my streaming service, I have been talking. I have been putting up pictures. I have been doing all of this stuff. And I was like, why is nobody saying anything? That is bananas. Danny, how are you? I literally have been thinking about you, Danny. I have to talk to you because I have to do IVF. How come you're not Danny Green Eyes anymore? I wish that I wish that one of you guys had been like, wow, why the hell are you like late? Why are you 45 minutes late, Wah? I did see someone at the top say, wait, who said that? They're like, it's 2:09 Eastern. Isn't this supposed to start at 2 p.m.? And then I responded with, hello. And then Ramsterdam says technical difficulties. And I thought she was just saying that it was hard for people to write in the chat. I have been talking for 30 minutes. Okay. I want to thank you guys so much for waiting. Let's just do this shit all over again. So, hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my second recap of Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 1, Countdown to Meltdown. I did not take any notes, so I have just been talking to myself. I guess that was like a warm-up session, girl. Okay. La, 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 la. Okay, let's go. Let's start over. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it on my other channel. I'm starting a new channel, guys. I can't. Let me just take a moment. I hate everything. I just inserted an ad. Let an ad happen. Oh my God. You guys, don't forget to thumbs up this video. Comment or whatever. Look at me. I'm sweating. Because I've been talking. Okay. So I don't even know what to say. Let's put that up. Let's talk about Clara. Let's talk about Clara and Ryan because I do like them. Let's bring up a picture of Clara. Let's bring back up that picture of Ryan, and let's talk about it. So Ryan is from the South. He has a Southern twang. and he is ready for love. So he's a CrossFitter. He's very regimented in his life. He like loves to get up and go to work and then go into his backyard and throw balls around that are very heavy, and he loves to do squats. He's got great legs. He's ready for marriage. Absolute husband material. His parents have been married for 3 decades. Ryan feels like his father laid out the blueprint for a supportive husband and what a supportive husband and dad should be. Ryan is hopeful the experts can find him a wife where he can build a family with and finally make his parents' dreams of being a grandparent come true. Ryan has a brother who is on the show as well, and we don't see anything about this brother. We just see like his arm. We don't see anything. It's like he's there, but really Ryan's friends are the ones that are being the most vocal about this entire process. Then we've got Clara. Clara's last relationship didn't go as planned, and she was left for reimagining a new future. She wants to start the next chapter of her life and has no interest in dating around. Clara wants to get married at first sight because she believes in fate and that everything happens for a reason. She's all in and ready to give the process everything that she's got. And I love Clara, honestly. I think that she brought the most interesting commentary to this entire process while we were watching it. I think that she, when she's talking with the girls, she asks them interesting questions. And I think that, what is this? Oh, you guys, I have monitors. Thank you guys so much for being in the room, Lynn J and Mickey. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that my sound is amazing. Okay. So, yeah. So, Clara had a really bad go of it. Her last guy that she went out on a date with showed up drunk and then made her go through 50 pages of looking at pictures of his ex, which honestly, I wouldn't even done that. Not even for the story. Like dating is so taxing on my spirit that I honestly can't do it. So like to have somebody show up drunk would have been like, number one, I'm out of here. I can't do it. I don't know about Ryan's past relationships, but he does say that he's black, which I like. I knew he was black. And that's important to me. So I don't know what else to say about that. Clara says that she is looking for a racially ambiguous man. That's what she says when she's getting ready for her wedding, which I was just like, okay. I love that she kind of went in this process and was like, I'm open to whomever, whatever, just give me somebody to love and be happy with. So she tells her friends that she's getting married at first sight, and they are super, super supportive of her, which I love. I love a supportive family member. I love it. I think it's wonderful. And I'm really excited for her and for this process. The next couple that we are going to talk about, let's just do Haley. And I'm going to tell you right now, Haley and Virginia to me are the same person. I don't know enough about Haley to to distinguish her. Like I can't remember exactly what she did, but she is going to be with Jacob, whom I don't have a little blurb about, but I can tell you that Jacob is a nerd in sheep's clothing. So Jacob was nerdy nerd, and then he found some weights and completely changed the way his body looks and the way his image is. And he's still a nerd in heart, and he loves the 80s and he loves cheesy 80 movies, which I was like, I really like this guy because I'll watch a cheesy 80s movie with you. But depending on how cheesy, like, will I watch all of the Back to Futures with you? Yes. Will I watch all of the Conan and the Barbarians with you? Yes. Will I watch all of the Planet of the Apes with you, the original? Yes, and the new one. So like I love it. I love 80s movies. It reminds me of my childhood. So I'm really liking him. This guy, he's 38 years old, and he is about 10 years older than Haley. Haley hasn't, is that her name, Haley? Girl, I tell you, I don't know. Haley hasn't been in a relationship in 7 years, so she's very nervous about this whole entire process because she says that she just hasn't been in a relationship in so long, but she is ready to get married. She doesn't want to go out there in the field, and I get it. And Jacob's ready to get married too. He's finally got his life together, and he's like, whoa, I think it's time for me to get some kids there going. And his friends are all nerdy. They look nerdy, and he doesn't look nerdy. He's kind of buff, and I love this. I like the way he looks. I think he's a handsome guy. So that's it with those two. And then we have got Vincent, Virginia and Eric. So let's bring them up. I have them up because I've already done this. I've I've already done this whole thing. Okay. So, not Virginia. Who is this? Eric and... Yeah, Virginia. So Virginia has had a really hard time at life. From her experience, from her words, from her actions, and from her drinking. She's 26 years old and hasn't had the best relationship in the past, but she's much stronger as a person and has learned from each failed partnership. She's at the point in her life where she can confidently say she's prepared for marriage. Admitting that she has a history of self-sabotaging relationships, Virginia is ready to overcome her fears and commitment to love. So the reason why Virginia does self-sabotaging is because she is the product, I think, of 2 different divorces. Her parents got divorced when she was younger. And then, so her parents got divorced when she was younger, right? And then they got remarried. And then I think her mother ended up getting divorced again. So she has a stepmother and 2 stepfathers and a real father. So it's a lot. And she says that greatly affected her life. And because she had never seen a positive marriage or a marriage come to fruition, or not fruition, but that is really hard for her. But even though I feel like she's seen her father and her stepmother do well, her father, who she called to tell that she had gotten the show, wasn't too excited about this process and was just like, I was hoping you wouldn't tell me that you got on. And she was just like, well, I did. And he ended up not being there for her. He ended up, what did he do? He sent her stepmom. So she doesn't think that her stepmom is going to show to anything. And she actually surprises her when she's picking out her dress. Virginia loves to party, and she loves a man who likes to drink because that's what she likes to do. In fact, she gets drunk at her bachelorette party and throws up. It's not a good sign. I think that Eric is going to have an issue with her because Eric comes from a very traditional, conservative household. He says it over and over again how conservative and traditional his household is. Eric is 34 and he's ready. He has already been married for wait. I can't read. Hold on. Let's just put on the glasses. He has been ready for marriage for a long time now. And because he's married before, he doesn't want to waste any time finding his perfect match. Eric has accomplished everything in his life and he is ready to start the next chapter of his life and family. So here's the deal with Eric. When I first saw Eric's scene, I was just like, oh my God, this is so annoying. Another privileged person with a freaking airplane. Like, he's like flying an airplane around. And I'm like, oh God, okay. So it turns out he's actually a pilot. It turns out that he's actually been in the Air Force. It turns out that this man is living every little boy's dream to be a pilot. I mean, it's like being a pilot and being an astronaut are some of those things that boys get told that they can do, but very few of them actually do it. And so I find it to be very cool and interesting that he's a pilot. Okay, now that I'm over the shock of having to do this over again, let me sit up and be a real YouTuber. All right. I like Eric. The fact that he's so conservative is hard for me to see how he's going to do well with Virginia. Because Virginia is not from that traditional background that he is used to. And when Eric is talking to his mother about this process and that he got chosen for it, she's a little taken aback. And as I said earlier when nobody was listening, this idea that there is a traditional way to find somebody is so antiquated to me. There is no traditional way of finding somebody. You can find a person from many different ways of going about life. Like me personally, I would love to find a guy in Barnes and Nobles, but didn't happen to me. I used to go to Barnes and Nobles almost every Saturday trolling and looking for a man, but I would also be reading because I freaking love Barnes and Nobles. But it's really hard to... Ooh, there we go. Ooh. So it's really hard to find somebody. And I think the modern way of finding somebody is through a social media app, right? Or some kind of dating app. And even that is kind of frowned upon on sometimes. But this process to me makes the most sense. Like going in and being a match made by a professional seems like listen, if I could just go somewhere and have somebody match make me, I would be so happy. Not to say that the person who I get matchmade with would be amazing, but at least somebody's out there looking out for me. And a lot of match made relationships in other parts of the world actually end up doing well. And it's this Western idea of love that I think a lot of times shoots us in the foot. Yes, do we want to be in love? Absolutely. Does it sometimes happen in the least likely of situations? 100%. But it doesn't happen to everybody, and I'm one of those people. So I just get annoyed. I get annoyed, and I'm not annoyed at his mother, obviously. It happened for her, so she doesn't know any other way, but it just breaks my heart when people don't trust this process, and they don't want to be supportive of their kids who do this, or their loved ones or family members who do this, because, it could work. It's just as much of a gamble as the other way, as finding somebody in a bar, as finding somebody in church. It's just as much of a gamble, in my opinion. And what makes it so weird? Oh, just because you don't know this person, you don't necessarily know people, even though you've known them for a year, or 2 years. I think the only real way, the surefire way to know of whether or not you should marry somebody is you just move in with somebody. I think that's the best way, and that should be the traditional way. Okay, so he's already been married. It didn't work out. I imagine that his divorce was probably a big deal in his very conservative family, and he's ready to just jump in again and do it. I just don't know that, Virginia is the right person for him. So we're going to see if sparks fly in a good way or sparks fly in a bad way with this couple, especially when they meet each other's families. Okay, so the next couple that we are going to talk about is Briana and Vincent. So let me take these guys off and let's add on Briana and Vincent. Come on, Eric, go away. There she is. All right, so we've got Briana, who is absolutely done with dating, and she's ready to meet her soulmate. She's an engineer, she has got her life together, and she is ready to go. With a man handpicked specifically for her, she wants to start the next chapter of her life, share experiences, and build an empire. She loves that the maths experts matched candidates with a partner who is not only compatible, but also with someone who shares the same core values. Briana is devoted to experiment, and she is ready to give her all. Briana's also like, I need a man who likes to drink wine, because I want to come home and drink wine with my man and come home and talk about our prospective days and, have a life together. And then we have Vincent. Vincent is 27 years old, and he's ready for marriage. In past relationships, wait, I can't read again. Vincent was ready for marriage in his past relationship, but his partner was not. Despite his heartbreak, he hasn't let go of the dream of the happily ever after. Vincent doesn't hold back when it comes to his feelings, and he'd love the help of the maths experts to help match him with his dream girl. He embraces his Dominican culture, loves music, and is ready to find his salsa partner for life. I love Vincent so much. He only did one thing that was annoying to me, but otherwise, I love this guy. He has such a cool relationship with his friends. They're really supportive of this process. They're asking him all good questions when he sits down and kikis with them. And I love his beard. There would be, if there was an ASMR channel of men just brushing their luxurious beards, I would love it. He says that his last girlfriend wasn't interested in marrying him, or they didn't get married because she wanted someone who had a degree. So I'm assuming that she wanted him to go to school and get his degree and then do this kind of linear path to success. But honestly, after a certain time, my personal opinion of not having your degree, unless you're making like a crazy life change where you want to do this. Like, I know I want to be a doctor, and I decided at age 27 that I want to be a doctor. Then I can see somebody going back to school and getting their degree and then going through all that. But otherwise, like, why? If there isn't something you're super passionate about that you can only become that thing if you get a degree, why would you go back to school and do it? And right now he has a pretty good job. He's a luxury car salesman. And listen, he could be in luxury car sales for the rest of his life. As long as he saves his money and do what he has to do, there is no fault in that. That is an honorable job. As a former salesperson, I just sold shoes. But imagine if I sold cars. Girl, I'd be rolling in the dough. Rolling in the dough. Rolling in the dough. And so I like his style. I like his demeanor. I like his attitude. And I think that he'd be really good for Briana. Now we have Briana. She, beautiful. And who's in love with Briana? Clara. Clara is in love with Briana, okay? Clara is in love with Briana and Paige. She's really excited for this whole entire process, and I think she is just as excited to find a husband as she is to find these girlfriends. So that is them. The last couple, is it the last couple that I'm going to talk about, is Paige and Chris. In that last 45 minutes when nobody was listening to me, I went in on Chris, okay? I can't talk about this man enough. I think that he is the villain of this season. I think that he is the one that is going to make us go the most, because he is so rude. The first thing he says when he gets around the group of the guys when they meet is that he hopes his wife isn't ugly. And I thought to myself, how dare you say that, sir? Have you seen you? Have you seen you? How dare you not want someone who's going to be ugly? It is just, I mean, not that he's not attractive. He's all right. You know what I'm saying? I would marry him if I didn't know his attitude. If I saw him, I'd be like, okay, he's not a disaster. But is he going to age well? No. And he thinks he is just God's gift, right? He is a church man. He grew up in the church. He's raised by pastors, but he's one of those preacher's kids that are just out in the streets doing the most. I think that the fact that he was supposed to be this, I don't know, a lot of his talk when he talks about sex and wanting to have sex and stuff, I'm just like, come on, get it together, sir. You're whatever age years old. You should, do I not have their thing? Let's put it up. I just went into attacking him because I don't like him. There it is. All right, let's read their blurbs. Paige is determined to break the generational curse in her family, and to be the first to have a successful marriage. When she was only 21 years old, she purchased her first home, and she's a stable career, and she's ready to start the next chapter in her life and be a wife. She wants to be married at first sight because she truly believes in the process and trusts an expert to find her the right man. Chris, 27, has a dream of getting married from a young age, raised by pastors. His faith runs deep, and he firmly believes in the power of prayer. He knows God will bring him his wife, and he's confident that married at first sight is a sign to answered prayers. Alongside his wife, he wants to be co-CEOs, leaving behind a legacy for many children. This man says, the most children I want is 7. I'm like, are you planning on having 3 sets of twins? Because who's going to go through 7 pregnancies for you? The most. How many wives are you planning on having? The most. At 27? Or how old are they? 25 and 27? They better get started. Shit. 7 kids? They better get started. I mean, he said the most he wants, but that means like he probably wants 5. Ugh. What happened? What are you guys talking about? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have looked in the comment section. Whenever my moderators are talking, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? So anyways, he was talking about wanting to be attracted to his wife, also talking about the fact that he needs to have a healthy sexual relationship. He had a healthy sexual relationship with his last woman, but I guess that wasn't all that was necessary for the relationship. He also says that he got engaged really early. So they met, they became boyfriend and girlfriend, and then they were engaged all within like 3 months, and the engagement didn't work. And check this out, the engagement was like 7 months ago. So as soon as he dropped that, he immediately started for Married at First Sight, I believe. And I know they put him in here because he's a villain, because he's gonna do something crazy. I hope my wife isn't ugly. Have you seen this show? No one on this show has been ugly. The only person that I could say that's a close for me to think that someone was ugly was somebody that was on the season 10, because I was just like, okay. But no. Also, trust the process. If God brought this person into your life, if you think they're ugly or not, that's your wife. Deal with it. Paige has terrible wigs. Okay. They're all terrible. I just don't know when they're going to be good. This one right here isn't too bad, but if it looks bad enough. She loves a thick swoop. Like, she loves to put the part over here and have this on top be like a bird's nest. And I'm waiting for her to have some better wigs is what I am. That's what I'm waiting for. So her number one thing that she said she wanted was a man who was God-fearing. And so they partnered her up with Chris. And she is ready for this process. She says that she would be subservient to her man if he made her feel like she could be subservient to him. I imagine that Chris is just going to want her to be subservient. He thinks that he has impeccable fashion sense, and all of his clothes, in my opinion, are too tight. Too tight, and he's not as impeccable. His fashion sense isn't as impeccable as he think he is. He's surrounded by a bunch of men who, I think, in my opinion, conflate and inflate their own egos. He is so egotistical. It is like bananas. He's been homeless. He lived out of his car for a while in order to run for his dreams. And I mean, I've done that too. You know, when I was trying to move out to LA and I didn't want to drive back and forth, I slept on some couches and lived out of my car a little bit. And like, I get it. I did the hustle too. But he wants like accolades for that, which I don't want to give him accolades for it. Like, I'm sorry. No. Yep. No. You don't get any kind of special accolades for what you've done. You didn't have to be homeless. You chose it. Let's put this volume down a little bit. I'm sorry if I'm peeking you guys and it's like yelling at you too much. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. What else about Paige? Paige has a big butt. Clara wants that big butt. And she is interested in a man who is sexually experimental as well. Like, she's open for that too. So I think maybe sexually they might be fine. Chris does not want to have sex with his wife on the honeymoon. He wants to see how everything's going to work out, but who knows if that's going to happen. Let's see. So the next scene that we have with all of them together is the guys meet up, then the girls meet up, and they, you know, talk to each other about this process and how they're feeling. Again, Clara asks some really good question. Then the guys go to get their suits and they're with their homeboys and they all put on suits. I love Vincent's suit. It is the best. Eric's suit is just like whatever. I don't remember it. Jacob's whole suit process was really cool. So he like got something that was kind of embroidered and his friends were like, absolutely not, put that back. So he got something nice. And then Chris ended up bringing in the shoes first, which I'm not against. I like the slippers. They had like a sparkly toe and they were patent leather on the back. But the actual outfit that he picked was too tight on him. He looked like he was busting out at the seams. And but I thought it would have been good if I don't know, I just automatically don't like him. So everything he does and says, I'm just like, whatever. So he ends up going to get his suit with his pastor and having a conversation with his pastor, who looks like a cheater. They all just look, no one looks solid in his life. They all just look like they're out scheming, trying to use women and hide behind God. That's what it looked like to me. He's like, oh, you know, now that I have all this money, I don't want somebody who just wants me for my money. Sir. You aren't the best looking, so you better have some money. I don't like him. So the guys don't like him either. When he makes that comment about being ugly, they were just like, okay, this guy is weird. He's one to watch. Ryan, who loves a hat, you know, Ryan has a hat on in every single scene, a wide brim hat on every single scene. And the next scene they have with them is their bachelor party, and Chris shows up late with a blow-up doll, like a weirdo. So he shows up late with a blow-up doll. The guys are kind of annoyed. They get to this whack-ass bachelor party where these like tired-ass strippers are in these cages just kind of moving slowly and languidly, and none of them look good. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to body shame anybody, but I'm like, at least come on, give me something. Like, I need pageantry. This is Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I need something. I need y'all to be walking around. I need you to have some personality. It's just two sad-looking strippers in a cage, okay? Then Lifetime has the audacity to whoever produces Married at First Sight has the audacity to like do up close shots of these women. It's like, we don't need this. Thank you, producers of this show. We do not need up close shots of these girls in this cage because it's weird that they're here in the first place. Eric doesn't want to get drunk because he's waiting for the next day. Vincent loves the strippers, which is the thing that made me annoying. I'm annoyed about him. I'm like, Vincent, I love you. I have so much hope for you, and you're over here staring at the strippers like, hello, what's your name? Sit down, Vincent. Absolutely sit down. All right, you guys, I'm going to insert an ad right here. Great. Did it again. What are you guys talking about? His pastor's painted on hairline. His pastor has a painted on hairline? That is hilarious. Oh my God. Talking about the former pastor, he's such a deuce. But my sis is like, he may turn out to be Woody from last season. Oh, I didn't see Woody. I didn't see last season. At least this last season from the get-go, I could call out who would stay together. This one, ... I don't know. I live in Atlanta, and someone I know said the girl in the cage that Vincent was talking to was actually a model and not a stripper. Oh. So weird. Why did they do that? Maybe that's why they were like moving languidly like that. Like they didn't, that it wasn't really their passion. Okay. So, where else are we at? Jacob is saying he said something at the bachelor party that the guys thought was really weird, and I didn't think was weird. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, no, Jacob seems interesting. I think I'm gonna like Jacob. I think I'm gonna be sad that he's with somebody who is mildly boring. Wait, is Jacob with Virginia? No, Jacob is with Haley. I don't know. I hope that they work out, but I like Jacob. It's also awkward that they all live in Atlanta, and since Atlanta has such a small dating pool, Claire was also saying that she was worried that she's either going to know him or know his groomsmen or someone at the wedding, and so it's like nerve-wracking. And then we have a scene where the girls are just getting to know each other, and they're just talking about, you know, what this experience is going to be like for them, what they are expecting from out of this experience, how hopeful they are going to it. What if he doesn't do fellatio? What if he is this way or that way? And Clara's really leading the charge with having these conversations. At the bachelorette party, though, Virginia, you know, she's a lush. She had a little bit too many drinks, and she ends up throwing up at the bachelorette party, which is unfortunate. But everybody's getting along really well. They're having a good time. They're drinking out of their like penis straws, and they're all supporting each other. And I thought that was really, really sweet. Let's see, what is this picture? I already showed you that one. So it is wedding day. They all wake up and they are with their, you know, best Judies and people who are helping them to get dressed, and they're all very excited. They go to the hotel, and everyone has their lashes on. And they get their makeup artist there to get them looking good. And girl, poor Clara. Clara is so nervous that she honestly doesn't like anything. Clara doesn't like her dress. She doesn't like her hair. I don't know if she said she didn't like her makeup, but she really, really felt that entire day it wasn't her. You know what I'm saying? She just didn't feel connected to who she was as a person, and now she was going to meet somebody, and she's really nervous about it. Ryan, however, was in good spirits. He wrote her a really good note, and she was kind of embarrassed because she didn't write him the best note at all. And his had a blindfold in it, and he wants them to meet each other at the altar blindfolded and then take off the blindfolds, and the blindfolds say bride and groom, and I thought it was so cute. I'm really excited for their coupling. I am, because I think Clara is the most open. I'm also really excited for Vincent and Briana. I know that Eric and Paige are going to bring the drama, and I don't know about Jacob and Haley, but I don't know. I think that Eric and Virginia are going to be mismatched. So, you know, there's always a couple, you know, I've watched all the even seasons, or 3 of the even seasons of Married at First Sight. I've seen season 8 with Luke and what's her face. I've seen season 12 with Mindy and Zach, and I've seen now I'm watching season 10. Now I'm watching season 12 with this group, and I think that I can't call it on who's going to make it to the end, but I think that the honeymoon really shows us who's going to make it to the end. So I'll be able to make my projections after the honeymoon, because that's when everything starts to fall apart. If you remember, in season 10, we have Mika and Michael. Their situation started falling apart at the honeymoon. And we also have that black girl with the bad red wigs and the black guy who just wouldn't open up. And theirs fell apart at their honeymoon. Remember when she took a picture of him, or a video of him while he was sleeping? And he was so upset because he's like, you're just doing this for the Instagram likes. So, you know, that's something that was really, that broke down at the what is it called? At their, I keep saying all these words in my head that aren't the word. Honeymoon. So yeah, I'm excited for this season, actually. I think they've got a good batch of people, and I hope that Paige isn't too ugly for Chris. So annoying. Ugh. Go away. take his picture away because he's so annoying. And okay, so the next scene that we have is what's her name? Clara and Ryan, the blindfold. Okay, so we have them getting married. Clara's a mess, okay? She's uncomfortable. She hates her dress. She doesn't like the hemline. Again, she doesn't like her hair. And then she has to wear this blindfold, which even makes her more nervous. And she doesn't know how to, calm her nerves down, honestly. And she is walked down the aisle by her father, and her father has to lead her. And she's like, how is this going to work? Like, what's going to happen? Well, I'm a girl. Just hold your dad's hand and go down the aisle, and he'll put your hand in that man's hand. It'll be fine. She's all over the place. But I imagine her eyelashes are being smashed, so I feel her on that front. She's also not wearing a heel. She's wearing like a flat dress, a flat, sparkly sandal, which I don't know why. Maybe because she knows that he's not very tall, and had she worn heels, like, she would tower over him. Because look at him. He's taller than her here, but barely. It almost looks like he's standing on something. He's barely taller than her. His mother walks him down the aisle, which is really sweet. And everybody is socially distanced in their wedding party. And I don't know. I'm optimistic about this season. All right, you guys. So that's the end of this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. For those of you who are not watching live, this is the end. And I'm going to have my other videos up this week. I'll do a Married at First Sight tonight or tomorrow, because tonight is the episode 2 of Married at First Sight, starting at 8 p.m. on Lifetime. And I also have a Love After Lockup video that's going to be coming up later in the week on Sunday. Obviously 90 Day Fiance that's going to be coming out. So I appreciate you guys' support and watching all this content that I'm trying to get out to you guys. And thank you so much for your patience, for those of you guys who are actually in the room, who waited for 45 minutes for me to click the button that says start the live, even though I clicked it on my end. All right. Have a fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Okay, guys, let's have this kiki. What do you guys think? Let me get your predictions. It's crazy to do this again and actually have people here, because the last time I did this and was like, hey guys, and then I looked over, there's only 14 people in the room. And then I realized that, this entire time, no one was listening to me. What are you guys talking about? I'm glad you guys are excited for tonight. Oh yeah, Brandon. That was his name. His grandma told us everything. You're right. Hi, Trixie. Welcome to the room. Chris is toxic AF. I agree. Chris is toxic. I mean, maybe it's for the show. Like, maybe somebody said, say something crazy. So he's like, okay, I'll say something crazy. I hope she isn't ugly, Let's put my glasses on so I can see. Clara will run all over dude. I don't think she will. I think she'll have a lot of questions. I think he's really quiet, though. And the fact that he has such a regimented life isn't the best for someone who is I think Clara's got a lot of energy. And I feel like Ryan might have a lot of energy too, but it's stagnant. There's something very gotta keep it together type of attitude about him. Who's laughing? Who said they wanted a 6 foot tall? Did Clara say that? Oh my God. Hey, Abook. Thank you. It's all or nothing. What else do you guys think about the show? I'm waiting for you guys. Oh, yeah, Ryan's brother, definitely. His brother was not... No, his brother was, just sitting there looking at the whole process, and his friends were real excited about it. I thought you would bring up that he doesn't have a lot of black friends or friend picks, or pick friends. You know what about Ryan? I just feel like I'm already challenging. If you guys are watching my Bachelor recap, I'm already annoyed with Matt James. And so I just like, Ryan is just a black man who just happens to have a lot of white friends. Like I'm that person too. I have a lot of white friends. And so there was one point in my life where you would find no pictures of me with any black people either. And it's not necessarily a choice. It just depends on like your world and your circumstances and who you gravitate towards at that time in your life. And I still have relationships with a lot of those people. So like, you know, you can't really judge people, I think, by that. However, he is in Atlanta, so it's a little different. I don't know why he doesn't have as many black friends, but maybe he does. Maybe they just weren't about being on this show. I don't know. It depends on his life. To me, it's not about who the people you surround yourself by. It's about who you think you are, right? If you're like, I'm a black person, which he did say, and he's a black person who grew up in a small like southern town. And I want to know how his brother speaks though. Like I want to know what that is. Like I want to know how his brother sounds. If his brother sounds the exact way he is, I'm just like, okay, it's environment. If his brother doesn't sound that way, I'm just like, okay, well, one person chose and the other person, chose a different one. Daniel, no one with the actual money talks about money. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Danny. You're absolutely right. Very can be a F-boy on the side. My grandma used to be like, where they all at? LOL. I was like, we live in Orange County. Yeah, Bella Jasmina, we live in Orange County. Like it happens, girl. Like it happens. I grew up in West Covina. Like there wasn't a lot of black kids, and the black kids that there were, like, here's the deal. I'm a child of an immigrant, okay? And that immigrant wanted me to go to college and do certain things and to live a certain legacy. And at the time in my neighborhood, there were not that many black people whose parents were on that same accord. And my father wasn't like, at that point, it was more so about birds of a feather flock together. And so if you're going to be hanging out with people, all those people need to be like-minded and they need to be going to college. And I just didn't have that in my community. I didn't have enough educated, minded, or affluent black people around for me to be able to like hang out with. Don't let me have brought somebody crazy home, because then my dad would have sided the shit out of me and told me I couldn't be friends with them anymore. And it's not because they were black, but it was because of their outlook and what it is that they were being taught in their home. And not every black family has the privilege of thinking about education the way that my parents did. So, just couldn't do it. Hi from Germany. Hi, Arsu. Welcome. Wow, when are we going to see you on maps? When they come to California. So far, it's been like Philadelphia. I haven't seen them in LA yet. And I also did look about applying to it. Girl, it is a long process. Like, it's a long-ass questionnaire. I'm just like, oh, I got to fill all this out. Grandma was from the South. Yeah, and when I go to southern places, I'm like, y'all were just surrounded by all these black people of different social and economic backgrounds and different goals and ideals. That was not my experience. No, that was not my experience. Like, I didn't have any family who lived in the Black Beverly Hills, who lived in like, Ladera Heights or wherever. All my family was from Watts. All my family was from South Central. All my family was from Compton. So like, we were the ones that everyone was like, oh, you guys are bougie, you live out in West Covina, you talk like white people. My dad was just like, I want my kids to go to college. That's what I want for my legacy and my family. Coming from a foreign country, yeah, that's what I want. So it is what it is. I do love black people. I love being black, and it's never been something that's ever been challenged. Black people have challenged my blackness, but nobody else has ever challenged my blackness. Like, none of my friends have ever been like, you act like you're a white girl. Like, no, I don't act like I'm a white girl. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Maybe the way I speak, but I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? In my household, smells like rice and beans and chicken all the time. So it's not. We weren't over here. I don't know what other people's lives were like, but yeah, the blindfold thing would have given me anxiety as well. Yeah, I guess it would have, but I was just like, maybe if I didn't think I would look nice, like if I was like, I hate the way this dress fits my body, I hate the way my hair looks, and now you want me to put on a blindfold, yes, I would have been very upset. You're right. Thank you for that, Trixie. That was good. Yeah, Bella Jasmina, I agree with you. It's funny. Everybody in my house was educated, and I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not doing that. All I didn't see it being the move because there were people around me with money that didn't go. Yes, Compton. I know exactly how you feel. That was me growing up. Same. Many black girls tease me, but my other ethnicity friends did not. Oh, Bella, girl, let me tell you. That is the truth. I got the most vitriol and the most negative things said about me from black people. So at some point in my life, like sheltering myself from the negativity of black people was a necessity for me to come out alive. Because otherwise, the amount of dark skin hate and the amount, I mean, the time I got called ugly to my face in front of everybody was from a black kid. And he liked me. And I told my friend that he liked me, my good Judy, who was half black and half Latina. And she told everybody, all the black kids. And he was like, ew. They were like, ew, you like Wahima? And he was like, I don't like her. She's ugly. He said that in front of everybody. It has been very scarring. And it is hard for me to let my guard down around black men because of that. I know it's stupid, right? It happened when I was in 8th grade, but like it still was like the only time. And the times that I've been told that I'm beautiful have all been from non-black men. And when I think black men are trying to express the fact that they think I'm beautiful, it never comes off in a way that isn't salacious. It never does. It's never. No, it's not true. It has, like, recently, like in the last like 10 years of my life. But in the formative years of my life, it was never done in a nice way. It was always done in a very, I own you, you're a black woman. I sometimes feel like black men feel like they can just say and do whatever, and they don't have to be nice, and they don't have to be genuine and chivalrous and have manners. In my experience, I'm not saying this is the experience of anybody. I'm not saying this happens everywhere. I'm not saying that this is a blanket. In my experience, that has been what it is. And it's only within the last couple of years that I've gotten black men who are like, hey sis, what's up? And I'm like, oh, hello. You know, but growing up, it was like, hey. And I was like, no, I'm not going to accept that. So, you know, the best compliment I've ever gotten was, I think, my senior year of high school, or maybe my junior year of high school. This like nerdy theater white kid from another school told me that if a picture was worth 1,000 words, I was worth 2,000. So, I mean, all right. Bria comes off as anal. Yeah, but I mean, in order to have so much kind of like structure in one's life, like sometimes you do. I think that who else comes off anal? Oh yeah, remember she was the one who was like, I like to keep things clean and I'll go up behind people and clean things. She is anal. But I think Ryan is too. During COVID, I have revisited hurtful memories. Girl, you're in my head. Same experience. I've had very similar experience, said Danny, planning with Danny. My brother was not, his brother was not feeling his friends. I think so too. His brother was like, why am I here? His friends were kind of like annoying, but I think that's Ryan's personality. Like, be with your friends, you know what I'm saying? You know, who you vibe with. There were nerds in Compton, but I wish we bust out. She's an architect. They kind of come with the job. I think she might be in trouble. But I think she's cool. She's an engineer. She works on construction sites. Are we talking about Brie? Oof. It's all or nothing. Don't open that can, Wah. That's a conversation for another day, and that is my specific, very specific experience. It's also so funny that like some of my most silent but arduent supporters are men that I knew in high school, black men who would not have given me the light of day, but they like every picture that I put on Instagram. Everything. They watch my stories and they like my pictures. They don't ever say anything because I know they're married or they're in relationships and they're being respectful, and I get that. But I'm like, why didn't you show me this kind of love in high school? Like even just a little bit of it. And it's like 5 of them who are just like, And then when I like their things or I comment and say hi, ha ha, they'll like it back. Or when I'm like, oh, that's good, you know, whatever, they're like, thanks, you know. And I'm like, if only you spoke to me in high school, just gave me a little bit of like, you know, something instead of making me feel like, nah, I mean, they didn't make me feel like anything. It was pressure. It was the 90s. It was hard. You know, you wanted to be with a specific type of girl, and I wasn't that girl. It is what it is. I literally could talk about it all day too, Bella Jasmina. I completely understand. Esther says, I completely understand the immigrant parent idea of my kids will go to college and do better. I'm back in college again, getting another degree. Esther, you're better than me, girl. I got through once and I don't want to do it again. But yeah, that was the idea. Like 100%. Like you need to be with people who are going to elevate you. And my dad was like, if these Negroes aren't, you need to get, they don't need to be your friend. I was like, okay. Well. And it's, you know, nothing was strained. When I moved to New York City though, I was like, I don't have enough black women friends. But like, I'm all the black woman I need. You know what I'm saying? Why did you think about Jacob's diet? He only eats steak and eggs. Oh, I didn't see that. His poop must smell. I don't think Vincent will be faithful. Amanda, don't say that. Don't say that about Vincent, Amanda. Don't say it. You hurt my feelings. Ugh. Jacob's body is weird to me. I mean, but he's working out. Even when Pastor Cal asks if he ate vegetables, he said that he doesn't really and that people have been doing that diet for 20 years. I feel like he must be backed up. Like, how does he poop? I thought the same thing about Ryan's brother. I mean, yeah, I want to hear him talk. I do. I want to hear Ryan's brother talk. It was very amazing because he was sitting there like, but at least he was there. At least he was there. I'm sorry, but he gave off weird vibes at the bachelor party. Jacob, yeah, people were saying that too. I just think he's like a nerd. He's a nerd in like non-nerd clothing. And so it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I liked him. I think that Eric's friend though is funny. Eric's friend was the one who was like the redhead, right? The like bigger, huskier redhead guy. Lynn J says, don't fall for it. Some classmate of mine slid into my DM saying he has a crush, then disappeared when I gave him a chance. Oh, no. I'm not giving them a chance. I'm just saying like the attention now is interesting. But yeah, no. I was literally one of 5 black chicks in my high school doing theater, and it was rough in high school, but fun in a strange way. Still good memories. Oh yeah, I did theater in high school too. That's the thing that saved me. I did theater in high school and college, so I didn't necessarily need, like, my friends were different. My friends were all like, I had Arab friends, I had white friends, I had Asian friends. Like, so the theater department is what helped it to be more, it wasn't just black and white. It wasn't just like Latina and black. It wasn't just like the 2 main groups. It was a lot of like mixture. And I'm still friends with a lot of the theater kids that I went to high school with, and definitely my college friends. So it's like, it was fine. All right, you guys. So let's end this here. I have got to move on with my day. I have been sitting here for over an hour. You know, not for you, not to you guys, but for me, in over an hour. And yeah, so I want to thank you guys for joining me. And let's watch Married at First Sight tonight. And I will probably go live tomorrow, not tonight. Because at 10 I gotta get myself to bed. I'm an early riser these days. I've taken time off work, and so I want to get up early and like get my world together and then live my life, you know. All right, you guys. Does every single man have flowers on their kitchen counter? Vanessa, if you don't stop talking about Ryan, if y'all, excuse me, ooh, I didn't mean to burp, I'm sorry. If y'all do not stop talking about Ryan's brother's name is Chad, and every time the camera was on him, I chuckled. He was not into it. His name is Chad? Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe he goes by C Money. All right. Love you guys. Be well. Have a fantastic day. I will see you at the end of the week. Or I'll see you on Thursday. I'll see you sometimes. I'll see you. All right. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye, guys.